2016 I had a terrible year of illnesses. I started with a detached retina and nearly lost my eyesight because I could only see out of one eye anyway, and then I developed breast cancer, which became stage 2, so I decided to tackle my not yet achieved list and signed up as a Christmas present on a novel writing course, and by the following September I'd written a book and found a publisher, so I was thrilled. I've now gone on to write other books. Oh yes, and I won a runner-up of the year, 2018, a Chill with a Book award, which I was very proud of. Well, growing up, my mum used to read to us every night. Even though she was heavily pregnant and being sick all the time, she was still a good mum and read to us every night. And the book she read was Norgie in Little Land, and I managed to find it on the internet the other day, and it's from the 1950s. I'm not that old, but this was my brother's as well, and so I wanted to learn to read because I wanted to know how she made sense of all the squiggles inside. And we read this every night, and it's a very basic detective story about a little boy who goes into a model village that shrinks, and the magic shrinks him down, and he looks for a lost jewel. So that was my first favourite book. I'd have to say Anita Waller is a big inspiration for me because she didn't start writing until she was in her 70s, and she's already written 15 books and had them published. She also writes just by putting down an idea and running with it and not plotting anything out and just seeing where it takes her. And I think that's incredible. I wish I could do that. My first novel was Dying to See You, and it's about a young woman who runs a care agency, which is like me, and she met the wrong man, basically. So that was the first one. How do we know the person we're meeting is safe? The next book was about a woman who suffers from paranoia. Is it paranoia, or is it something going on in the creepy old house she's inherited? That's called Scared to Breathe. My third one was written from a course I did on cuckooing for people with disabilities and how their flats get taken over by drug gangs. So I wrote that from the perspective of a man with Down syndrome, and that, I believe, to date was my finest piece of work. I'm very proud of that one. I love Kerry Fisher's books because of the humour and the warmth and family aspect. Michael Rowbotham is a big inspiration to me. I love his books. And Robert McCammon, the detail in his books is incredible. And Alex Marwood, I love the thriller aspect of her books. I've been listening to Final Cut by S.J. Watson, and I'm reading The Angel of Whitehall by Lewis Hastings. I would love to meet Michael Rowbotham. He has been my inspiration. He just has everything in a book that I want to find, so I want to write like him. Difficult to be torn away from my writing often with running the business. I have an office at home and we have several people in there working, and I have a lot of people in the community supporting children with disabilities. But the business does pull me away from my writing, but equally the writing pulls me away from my business. So I try and balance both and flip from one to the other. I can do it at 5 minutes notice if I snatch a 5 minutes here and there. Snatching a moment whenever I can. If I've got 5 minutes while the potatoes are boiling, I'll just write half a paragraph. I try and leave it on a cliffhanger in myself so that I'm straight back into it and carry on writing where I left off. I was inspired to write my latest novel by by reading an article on a woman who had done a DNA test and discovered things she wasn't aware of. And I thought, what if we're not the person we thought we were? My friend Alison posted on Facebook that she'd recently been taken on by a new publisher, and I was very intrigued, and I looked them up, and straight away I was impressed by their ethos and their values, and I really wanted to be a part of it, and I'm thrilled that they've taken my last book for me and they're going to publish it, and I'm going to write a series. I'd say always do your research. There's nothing more annoying for a reader when they find there's a geographical error or a fact wrong about police procedures. I get all my books factually checked by a retired commissioner of the police, and I research everything thoroughly, even going on Google Maps all the time. I even put the little man across and drive down the roads to make sure I've got the scenes right. And I think it's really important to keep looking up news stories. If I've got an idea for a plot, I look up a news story and then I find something similar to that, and then it can inspire me to develop the plot.